Hello, welcome back to Christmas in July. I think I lost the video of making this little booklet with you this morning. I was working away and didn't realize that my battery had died. So I'll give you a quick flip through before we finish it up. We've got a Christmas card that said season's greetings or something along the front here, and I've covered that up with some more glitter paper. There's already glitter right on the card. I don't know if you can see the different glitters. There's iridescent glitter on a white background just above, and then this is glitter paper that I've covered over the sentiment season's greetings because it was wrapping around to the back. Plus, I didn't really want this to be overly Christmassy. I just want it to be kind of wintry. I am going to use some Christmassy stickers in it, so it's going to have a Christmassy feel, but the glitter does that too. Anyway, then on the inside of the cover, I glued more of that glitter paper that's on the front. And I got a pocket going through the side here, which is the glitter paper plus the back of the card. And then I've got a pocket at the top, which is just the glitter paper up against the back of the card. So it was a little bit complicated, so I'm kind of sad that you missed it. I'll have to do another one like this. And then the papers that I used a gray grid because it's sort of a gray and white theme with a little bit of red. I've used red thread on the binding, put some glittery trim along the bottom here because I had a bit of a gap. And so there's just 5 pages, 10 pages altogether, 20 sides, I guess is how you characterize that. And same thing at the back. We've got the pocket at the front here, or the top, and a pocket at the side. And then the back of the book just is the continuation of the card with the 2 kinds of glitter. And I didn't put the bling along the back here. This is probably where I will sign it. With the red string in the center, I left it long. So I grabbed a little Christmas tree charm to tie on there. And it's got a bail on it. I don't think I need the bail for this. It'll just add a lot of bulk. So I'm going to take this off of the jump ring. So if you don't know, if you're a paper crafter and you've never made jewelry, you may not know. Your best bet is to have 2 pairs of pliers so you don't get tempted to use your fingernails. And when you go to open a jump ring, you want to go sideways. Don't pull, because when you pull it, you can't get it to tighten back up. If you go sideways, it will retighten. In fact, sometimes it'll tighten tighter than it was before. And then if it goes off center like that, you can tighten it back up too. Anyway, you're going to open it up. You want to push one away from you and one towards you, the 2 different pairs of pliers. And then to close it, you just do the opposite. And you can go past and then squeeze together, and then it kind of springs back into a tight close. And if it is a little off, you can squeeze down at the top like that. Just be careful not to deform your circle too much. It's tricky to learn, but it's not really rocket science. But I'm just looking and I see I don't really even need the jump ring, but lesson anyway. It's got a nice big hole, the charm does, so I'm just gonna wet the end of my string and put it through. And actually what I want to do is I want to get down below the bottom of the book and the top of the book, and I want to do a couple of knots in the string. Try to do a knot on top of the knot I just did. Kind of have to guide it. And it went right beside it, so I'm going to do a 3rd knot, which I probably needed to do anyway. And just make sure that I get myself a nice little clumpy knot here. The idea is to prevent that charm from going towards the center, towards the bow. There. And when I feed my, excuse me, then when I feed my charm on, hopefully it won't go past that knot. Yeah, it would if you forced it, but it's not just going to naturally go past there. And then the other knot can be down further because you want to be able to use this as a bookmark. Oops. And I'm going to do again 3 or 4 knots so that it doesn't try to go off the end. You could tie it right through the charm too, but I want the charm to be able to move. Put a nice little knot there, and that's not going to go past it naturally. And that way that can dangle down the side, and it can be used as a bookmark, and it'll dangle out the bottom. Or you could use it as a bookmark the other direction. If you want it dangling out the top, you could go down and up and have it dangling out the top. Now, I did pick a Christmas tree, but it's just silver. You can barely see the ornaments on it, so I think that's okay, because I'm trying not to make this overly Christmassy, more wintry. And then I've got some tags that I previously had made up that are just music and book page and plain paper. They're a little creamy, but the paper inside where they're going to be is a little bit off-white. So I think that that's going to be okay. And I'll put some, I've got some little red wintry stickers. One of them is a Christmas ornament. The rest are just, well, there's snowmen and these little hearts, which are more Valentine's, but I thought I would maybe use the little snowmen on the tags. And maybe what I could do is layer up the snowman with some, like a little snippet of Christmassy music. So I do have I've got a couple, but I've torn into one already. I think I'd like to keep using the one I've already torn into. I was just going to see if any of these were more of a whitish background. They're all pretty creamy backgrounds. So I'm going to use the one I've already excuse me, torn into. I'm going to tear with my tear ruler. We've got a little town of Bethlehem here. It might be better to have like Frosty the Snowman or something. Or just something out of an ad even could work. We Three Kings. I know I want to save some of the recipes out of this book. This is one of those, this is from 1986, and it was included with our local paper. I don't know which one. TV Facts. I don't remember that at all, but 86 I was in university, so I wasn't around home. Oh Holy Night. That's a neat little picture. The gift basket with a little bit of red on it is cute. I remember that store, The Incredible Bulk. Some red. Deck the halls. I like this little scene. so maybe I'll try to save it. And use the paper above it, and if there's, or the music above it. And if there is any, I'll use the music below it. Save that for something. I love little houses. So that's giving me a little Santa picture in an ad, and that I don't need. But I've got a little bit of Christmas music here that I can, and again, I keep saying I don't want it Christmassy, and then I go pick Christmas music, but fickle me. So I think I'll do the Christmas music in the background and the little snowman in the foreground, and just glue that on one of the journaling cards. I got a frog in my throat for some reason. Sticker's good and sticky. And the sticker is from, you know, those companies that send out labels and they want you to send them back money. Well, my mother-in-law had been saving her Christmas cards for me, and she saved a bunch of those label sets as well. She wasn't using them. So I've cut out her address so you wouldn't see it, and put, just so I could use those stickers. That's cute. And then I had decided before I started the video that I'll do the buffalo check with this because of the black and white. I think will go good with the black and gray, the grayish look on the barn on the front. So I fold that in half, maybe a little less than half, and put that end through the front of the card, and then put my finger through the loop and pull those tails through the loop and tighten it up. So that can go in the top pocket, and that goes, it can go all the way down, and just the ribbon will be sticking up. And then if I want to do one that goes in the side, I might need to, I mean, I can put one of these in sideways, but I could put a wider card in, and I think that's what I would like to do. So I'll do another one for this other top pocket here with some more of the Christmas music. It could have been any music, I suppose. And I'll do it very similar. Now I'm covering up most of my stripes because that was a nice striped collage there. That's all right. I think I'll get another one of those same snowmen that's a little bit larger. It's two snowmen with twig arms, which kind of goes with the theme, and then a present. So it doesn't bother me that both of those are the same. And do the same thing, not quite in half. I don't want them exactly the same length. The only thing better would have been if these tags were also made out of old Christmas cards, but they are just white tags that I decorated, which is fine. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to do to these is round the bottom corners, just with the smallest radius, the 4mm. And it's not working very well on this corner for some reason. There it goes. It just helps them slide in and out of the pockets easier, and the edges don't get stuck. I'm trying to line them up. They've got more width in here than they need, so that something else could still go in this pocket. but I like that little tassel sticking up. In fact, I might move one over one way and one over the other way, just so that they're not lined up, and it gives you a little bit more going on up top there. And then I've got, because I realize I don't want these, they're not, yeah, they are too, it does go in, but I don't think I want to put it in sideways. It doesn't fit well. I'd have to trim it, and it would maybe go in too far, like it can go all the way back in. So I'm going to see about some other blanks that I have made up. I've got quite a few card blanks made up in different collage designs. I have one that has some music. This is another striped one, and it's not very thick, which is good. It's done on craft paper cardstock for the backing, but that's all right. And this would want to be, sorry, just knocked you. I'm gonna say about 3.5 or so by 4.5. Yeah, that was just a little tight when I tried to put it in. So 3.5 by 4.5 would be a good size for this, I think. I'll cut one and see how it fits. And it's going to go in sideways. So I think 3.5 this way, 4.5 this way, 3.5 this way. So let's start by cutting to 3.5. I think both of these edges are pretty straight. 3.5. Might be able to get both cards out of this one strip. I like to do these whenever I'm crafting, but I can't. If I can't be filming because maybe Brian's watching TV or maybe I'm watching TV, then I will just do collages, and then they're ready to go for things like this. That one's pretty plain up top. Does that matter? No, it doesn't. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. 4.5 this way. And I'll do another one, 4.5 as well while I'm here. That leaves me another small little card that I can decorate. I'll round the corners so I can try it into the pocket. If I don't round the corners, it might not go in smoothly, but it may just be because the corners need rounding. So I'll go ahead and round them before I try it. And let's see here, try the back one first. These are a little creamier than I would like, but I don't think it matters. That's a little tight, probably just because of glue. But if I put a whale tail tab on it, which is what I was thinking I would do, I'm going to just make it, was it 4.5? I'm going to make it 4.25. And I'll just make them both the same, whether they need it or not. Let's see, which side was the corner rounding not great? This side. So I'll get that 4.25. Get another shot at those corners. I was disappointed when I realized that I wasn't filming because I was almost done. But I had just, my battery had run out and I didn't realize it. I thought I had plugged it in and I hadn't. Okay, so I see a couple of little spots that just need a little touch of glue. So I'm going to give it to them. Happens sometimes along the edges. And then I'm going to use, I think I'll use those same stickers, maybe a couple of the different stickers, but the main one being the snowmen. I do have a couple more of them here. Yeah, I do. I have one more of them, of the big ones. So maybe I'll make the hearts the main focus, but I will cut some more Christmas music. You can just see "We Wish You a Merry" on this one. And I'll just make sure that that isn't lining up with that other layer. And I keep that in the mix. I think I need to ink these. No, I don't want to ink them. This journal just doesn't really call for inking. Like that. And then the hearts. And then I've got a small version of the snowman that I will also put over here. And then my whale tail tab. I think I've got my whale tail punch somewhere here. I did find it. I had stuck it up in my shoe organizer on the back of the door, and I realized it would work if I put it there, and then I forgot that I put it there. I've been missing it for a couple of days. And then I found it, and now I can't find it again. I've got my box of whale tail tabs here, so it should be with them. No, it's over by the TV. Sorry, guys. I do want to put a whale tail tab on there, or else I would have abandoned this idea. So that's the whale tail tab punch. And it could just be as simple as some red cardstock. See how well that matches to our barn. If it's poking out the side, I think that'll be good. Just go over to where it's showing, and then I go just so it's just barely touching, and cut another one. And I've been saving these little resulting shapes to use to make flowers, so I have a little box for those. So just because I'm going to cut a few more red whale tail tabs while I'm at it. And this isn't going to give me a tab, but I'm going to do it anyway to get the little petal for my flower. And I may just, after I'm done the video, do 4 more across there to get more of those little petals. But I only need 2 of these right now. And you just fold them in half. They fold easily. Don't know if it's scoring it or not, but it just folds easily. And it'll go on the side in this case. Maybe I'll do it on this side. Do I have time to reposition this snowman a bit? I need some glue this time. And just move him over so that he doesn't interfere with the whale tail tab. And I think I want the whale tail tab to line up, even though I didn't use the whale tail punch to make the hole here, or the notch. It seems like that's where it's gonna push in easiest, at that location. So if I have my whale tail tab sort of here, centered around that area, like that, then that'll line up pretty naturally. And you just need to put glue. You only really have to put it on the bottom. It's going to stick to each side of the page, but if you put some up in here, it'll stick then to each other as well, the part that's sticking out. So I'm going to put it on the side I can see first, sort of centered on those lines. Pull it out so that those shoulders are just on the edge of the page, and hold it and press it. And then if you fold this other side over, it should just naturally line up. A bit of glue seepage. And normally I think I would ink this, but this book I'm not going to. Like that. And then I think I'm going to just put a snippet of the buffalo check on this card, just to tie that in, maybe just here between the 2 pictures. And I'll use the tacky glue for that. And I'll use my tweezers. Trying to train myself to use those darn tweezers. And just maybe like that, covering the whole edge of the heart picture and getting down to the bottom of the snowman picture. So I'll let that stay out so it dries, because that glue seeps through the ribbon. But once it's dry, it's really good and firm. And then we'll do the same sort of little collage on this one, but realizing that our tab is going to be on the other side. And so I might need to find another section of music. I'll just use this one here, as long as it's not got anything on the other side that I want to save. I'll save these ads. Actually, I'll save up to here. I'm just going to eventually harvest this season greetings and this little elf. So I'll go up to there and save that. Oh, I ripped the elf. This paper's so flimsy. But I got the season greetings. That's okay. And then I'll take a little piece of this music. There's nothing, I don't even know that song, so that's fine. I'll use a little bit of this music paper. And I think on this one, I'm going to leave that little darker border. And what stickers will I use? I used the big hearts. Maybe I will use the Christmas ornament, even though I'm trying not to be too Christmassy. Glue stick will hold that down. It practically embeds itself right in this old paper. glued my arm down. Try to just put the sticky side to the back of the book. Let's see. Instead of the ornament, I'm going to use the present. As the focal picture, and then the small picture I'll use the hearts again. Something like that. And then a little snippet of the, I have a lot of little short snippets of the buffalo check because I use it a lot for tag toppers, and these would be the where I trimmed it to a certain length. So it works well to keep those and use them for things like this. Just another little touch that makes it special that you might not have thought of if you didn't have the scrap. And then my tab goes out the other side. Little smiley faces and a couple of dots. And I didn't check my positioning on this one, so let's do that. Had a little bit of time with that glue. So that's going to sit about there. So I think we can do this. We'll just place it. Hold it as we pull it out, and do the other side. That way we're not getting any glue in the book inside the pocket. I'm just going to grab a little bit of paper towel here. There, happy with those. And then there's room to write on the back. You could also put some more of the list paper on the back. These can be used as bookmarks. They can be used as writing boards too. If you use the smooth side, you can use it to firm up the back. So this one goes in the front like this. Well, unless you want to be able to see it from the front when you're open, like without the book open, but I think you're generally not going to pull this out until you open the book, and then you see that there's something there. And this one, and this would be a good argument for not lining these two tabs up. If you put one of these cutouts up at the top and one at the bottom, then the tabs would be both visible when the book is closed. So maybe on the next little one I'll do that way. And we'll try, see how that looks. I think it would look good. Doesn't want to go all the way in. I might have to trim it. Yeah, I would like it to go all the way in, so I'm going to trim it. Actually, that might have been because that was catching. Let me just try it again here. No, there's something down in there that's maybe the glue just spread in too far or something. There we go. It will go in. Just needed a little persuasion. So you see those are lining up perfectly, which is great. At least they line up perfectly. but it might have looked better to have one up here and one down here, or even a third one in the very middle, you know, having the 3 tabs, but I'm very happy with that. I've used the card, and you don't see any of the card, you don't see any evidence that it was a card, let's say that. But it's a nice, cute little notebook, sturdy cover, plenty of pages for writing, and a little bookmark with a charm. So I better sign it. I really am proud of this one, so I'll sign it. I usually do that in here. I'll write my Thistledew Creations. I know that's not where books are usually labeled, but that's what I've been doing. And then I did leave myself a spot back here, which is more like on the bottom at the back is where you usually expect to see the maker. And I just write it. I find that I can recognize my own writing, so I'll always know if it was really one of mine. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry that we missed the first part, but we'll catch it on the next one. I'll do another one very similar, only we'll change a couple of things as we learned as we went. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, but most of all, have a great day.